Alrighty then, it's time for my TNA Slammiversary 2016 review. Yeah, Slammiversary was last night, and after doing some house chores, I said, well, better go find some Slammiversary so I can watch it and review it, because I said I was going to review it, and if I didn't watch it today, I probably would have watched it on like Thursday, and then I probably wouldn't have uploaded the review, or I would have filmed the review and not uploaded it, and because I was busy with work or something, blah, 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 you get the idea. So I decided, you know what? Let's just get it done. Let me just review Slammiversary. Let's get over it. So, TNA Slammiversary 2016. What did I think about this show? First off, I want to say this. This is a disclaimer. And it's not to the people who regularly watch my channel. It's more to the TNA fans that I know are searching Slammiversary on the YouTube page. And they find my channel and they hear anything I say about this pay-per-view, and they want to critique what I'm saying about this show. And I'm not talking about the casual TNA viewers, I'm talking about those TNA fucking defenders. Look, if you don't like what I say about this show, or what I have to say, at least listen, please. Use your ears for once, use your eyes for once, and listen to what someone's saying. Because sometimes why I hate reviewing TNA pay-per-views is that I feel like if I criticize anything on TNA, in any of my past TNA reviews, I just get hate. I just get people hating on me, saying, oh my god, how dare you? How dare you hate this match? How dare you hate this? Hey, listen. Like Navi would say to frickin' Link, listen. It's my opinion. You have an opinion, I have an opinion. You TNA defenders, this is my opinion on you guys. You're the main reason why a lot of people don't like TNA. You're the main reason why people get turned off from TNA, and heck, sometimes you're the main reason why we want to see TNA die. Because you people drive us insane with how much you love TNA and how much you defend TNA, that it makes us not want to give a fuck about this company. It's the truth. Sorry to have to break it to you guys, but it's true. Sometimes you guys drive us to the fucking wall. So, if you are a TNA defender, and there is bad stuff on this show, I'm not going to sit here and call Slammiversary a perfect fucking show. Please, before you go with your keyboards and start typing nonsense in the comment section and not listening to my fucking opinion, please just listen. Sit there and listen. You don't have to defend every fucking match on the show. Not every match on every pay-per-view you watch is going to fucking deliver. That's all I gotta say before I get into the Slammiversary review. Shout out to TNA. Really good tribute for those Orlando people. The Orlando mass shooting. Crazy freaking shooting. Very sad to hear about that. Like, biggest mass shooting in U.S. history. 50 people killed. I think it's 49 confirmed dead, but I believe 50 were killed. And like 49 were injured. So, or more were injured. I think it was 49 were injured. Just sad to hear about that. And you're not going to have me talk about this. My channel is not about that. It's all about sports and wrestling. But really sad stuff. And I was glad TNA gave that moment of silence. And they did a good job executing on it. I felt Jeremy Borash did a good job being strong and talking about that, man. Like you guys can tell right now, I'm like cracking up just trying to say it. Jeremy Borash handled that with great professionalism, and I thought TNA did a good job with the moment of silence and everything like that. So, good on you, TNA. Now it's time to talk about Slammiversary 2016. We kicked off the show with the Fatal 4-Way for the X Division Championship. We had Eddie Edwards taking on DJZ, taking on the Helm Dynasty, which featured Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett. Gregory Helms, I got to give you props here for just showing up in a suit and then getting kicked out, and you're still getting a paycheck. Good on you, brother. Less work you have to do to get money. Awesome shit. Always appreciate that. You get your money, and all you have to do is just walk down the ramp. I love it. Before this Fatal 4, I gotta say, really good opening match. Really good X Division match. I felt all four men did a great job in this match. They started off at a nice pace. They started off with a decent enough story. It was the Helms Dynasty trying to take over the match. And then the Helms Dynasty had a little bit of dissension, like it should be in a Fatal 4-Way. I felt then near the end, all the spots were fun to watch. Really good match. I thought this kicked off the pay-per-view very well, and I felt one of the right guys went over here. I felt the only two people that should go over here in this situation was Andrew Everett, so you could start a feud between him and Trevor Lee, or Eddie Edwards. Why Eddie Edwards I felt like is the right guy to go over here? Well, Eddie Edwards I feel like is a good singles guy that TNA should be focusing on in 2016, heading into 2017, if they make it that far. I'm using the word if here. We don't know with this U.S. economy if all of a sudden TNA goes under. You know, the U.S., we're not good economically right now. I don't think TNA fans think about that sometimes. And shit gets shut down out of nowhere. Like, Sports Authority just went bankrupt. I was like, what? I thought Sports Authority was doing great. But nah, man, they just went bankrupt. They just went downhill. So yeah. But Eddie Edwards is a guy they should be focusing on building for the future. And especially if you want him in the main event scene, I feel like the X Division scene is a good start for him right now at this current time. I still feel like he can feud with Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett in certain ways. But like I said, a really good opening match. And it really set the tone for this pay-per-view. You were saying to yourself, man, dude, this pay-per-view, with that opening match, that's going to really, really make you have high expectations for the next matches to come and really make you say, hey, maybe TNA is going to pull off a really, really great show. And then the rest of the card happened until we got onto the final 4 matches. These next matches right here really, really brought down the pay-per-view score for me. Really, really did. Now, when we get to my final thoughts, you'll know what I thought about the show. But these 4 matches were literally, I was on my phone trying to entertain myself. I was trying to stay awake for most of them. I just had no interest. I just really did not care. The Tribunal versus Grado and Mahabil Shahara. I don't really care about this Al Snow feud. I don't care about angry Al Snow trying to get rid of young guys that are having fun. Didn't really care about it. I like the look of the Tribunal breed. I mean, they kind of look generic with their tights, but they at least each have their own different, unique looks, so they're not too bad. You know, I'm not a big fan of Grado. I think Mahabili is a surprising talent for sure. But this tag match, you know, normally when you watch matches, they have a beginning and a middle and the end. No, this match just had an end. It had no beginning. It had no middle. It was just an end sequence. The whole match, it was like Mahabil building up for a hot tag, and everyone's like, well, yeah, that's what a tag match is supposed to do. No, not in the beginning of the match. The beginning of the match, you guys have it where each guy gets in the ring, they kind of show off their stuff, then you choose one guy that gets beaten down, and that builds up the hot tag. Mahabil was building up the hot tag from the beginning of the match, and I was sitting there, I was like, okay, they're just going straight to the end, and then they had a lot of ending sequences where you thought, oh, this is the finish of the match. But no, they just didn't finish the match. Like, Grado at one point grabs Al Snow's whistle, which, by the way, I thought it was great. I don't know if people find that annoying. Look, if it's annoying me on television, I think it's Al Snow doing a good job. I didn't think that was X-Pac heat whatsoever. I thought it was absolutely hilarious with Al Snow and his fucking whistle. I was laughing my ass off. And freaking Grado grabs the whistle, blows it out at Al Snow. Al Snow falls down onto the outside because he gets blown with the whistle. But then later on in the match, Al Snow gets the whistle back, and I'm like, wait, huh? If you're going to one-up the manager like that, don't try to put the manager over where he gets his whistle back. No! If you one-up a manager, the manager's down for the rest of the match. That's how it works. But no, they just decided to have a funky finish. Like, why does the Tribunal need a funky finish to beat Grado and Mahabili? Why? They don't need no fucking funky finish for this. Just have the Tribunal kick their asses. Like they're supposed to. I just felt that finish was just so whack. And honestly, this was one of the worst matches I've ever seen in a while. I know a lot of people are going to be like, Chase, you may be overreacting. No, this was one of the worst matches I've ever seen. That's pretty bad. This match was just kind of blah. I hated this match. Moving on. The knockouts stuff. I will say Maria's better on the microphone than I thought she was. That Alley girl, she's good annoyance. I like her. Gail Kim still trash on the microphone. Like, Gail Kim on the microphone, I don't know what it is. She's like always screaming. She's like, I don't want to fight anyone else but you, Maria. I'm like, oh my fucking God. You've been in the business how long, Gail Kim, and your promo skills are still the fucking same? You don't try to change it up. You're always screaming. Maria got really good. But there was like a flaw to me when watching this, because Gail Kim hurt her knee on the last Impact. And the TNA doctors are okay with Gail Kim with a busted knee fighting Maria. But Maria, because she has a broken hand, she can't fight. I know everyone's going to be like, we'll chase this for heel heat. But no. If Gail Kim's going to fight after getting a steel chair shot onto her freaking knee, how come Maria can't fight with a broken fucking hand? That made no sense to me. I was just sitting there like, what the fuck? The whole promo felt like a waste of time. Billy Corgan comes out, and Corgan makes it a triple threat match for the Knockouts title. So we got Jade, Sienna, and Gail Kim in a triple threat. And I will say this, the triple threat wasn't bad. It was passable as a Knockouts title match. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was good. I just thought it was passable. That's all I really got to say about it. Sienna wins. I don't know where they're really going with Sienna winning. I hope it just doesn't lead to Gail Kim winning the championship right back, because, you know, Gail Kim is feuding with Maria right now, but it is what it is. So there you go. James Storm and Braxton Sutter. Felt like a TV match. I liked that James Storm went over here because, you know, they're trying to actually play up that Braxton Sutter is a rookie in professional wrestling. So I actually like that. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's so stupid. They put over James Storm when they should put it over the young talent. No, they clearly state Braxton Sutter is a newbie in professional wrestling in the TNA universe, you know, in the TNA canon, that Braxton Sutter is still new to the professional wrestling business, and he's still trying to pick up momentum and stuff like that. I feel working with the James Storm is good for Braxton Sutter. It was just that this match was just kind of whatever. It wasn't like any big-time pay-per-view match. It didn't feel like a James Storm pay-per-view match. It just felt like, hey, this was a match I would see on Impact Wrestling. Eli Drake taking on Bram. Eli Drake, he's kind of goofy, but he's not like my type of goofy, not a fan of him, and you guys know I don't fucking like Bram. I honestly did not really care about the match that much, but for a review perspective, I will say that it was okay, but kind of like James Storm and Braxton Sutter, it felt like an Impact Wrestling match. It didn't feel like it was a pay-per-view title match. It just felt like, hey, this could have main evented Impact, and it would have been a pretty good main event. But for a pay-per-view standard, a pay-per-view quality matchup, it was okay at best. That's all I really got to say. So, those 4 matches right there, it was just downing the pay-per-view. And I was just sitting there and I was like, oh God, I hope TNA picks this up. Because after that X Division match, you had high expectations from this pay-per-view. That X Division match made you feel like, man, some of these matches, if one is bad, that's okay. But a lot of these other matches, I don't think they're going to be as bad. But when you have one match that I think is one of the worst matches I've ever seen, you have a passable Knockouts title match, and you have 2 matches that you feel like should be on TV, you kind of worry a little bit. But then thank God for EC3 and Mike Bennett. What a good match that these 2 men put on. The video package beforehand I thought was good. Once again, Maria, I think, is so much improved on the microphone than in years past. I thought her intro to Mike Bennett was good. Felt EC3 was good. And this is something that I wanted to bring up earlier in the review, but I felt like it was the right time to bring it up now. One thing that I always hate about TNA when it comes down to them, especially when they film in Orlando, and they've always had this problem, is that they always have this weird audio issue. And I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe this is just me looking way too deep into it, but I feel like presentation is a big part of the show. But my always problem with TNA is that sometimes they have their commentators' audio way too high that it drowns out the crowd noise. Or what I hate the most is when they have their entrance scenes play and they have the commentators talking over it. The entrance music is way too loud and the commentators are way too loud that it drowns out the audience members. It makes it seem like the audience is not even there and that they don't care that these wrestlers are coming out. When we see these guys actually wrestle, it's like, hey, the crowd is there. The crowd is into this match. The crowd does dig this guy. We just can't freaking hear it because TNA has their audio themes all mixed up. It always seems like that since 2005 that they've had this problem with the audio. Like, that the crowd just doesn't seem like they care or they're into the match, when really they probably are into the match. It's always been like this. And it's not just in the Impact Zone, it's other shows too. Remember when AJ Styles returned, like to original AJ Styles, like before he was like evil ways, and then he helped the main event Mafia beat the Aces and Eights, which led to Devon leaving the Aces and Eights for a little bit. You know, I'm just saying, it's like the audio issues sometimes just kind of bug me, just kind of get to me, just kind of say like, oh God, come on TNA, you can do so much better than that. I mean, it's been this issue since 2005. It's 2016 now. I mean, really? You're still having that issue? Just not good. Just not good. That's just me. I know a bunch of TNA fans are not going to hate on me because I mentioned that, but I felt it ruined a cool moment of EC3 trying to get the crowd to sing his theme song, because you can tell the crowd was into it. They were saying trouble, 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 whoa, whoa, but you could barely hear it. You could barely hear it, and you know this crowd was into it because during the match they were shouting EC3, EC3, super duper loud. And I just feel like it hurts your wrestlers, because when they come out to the entrance music and you don't hear that initial pop, you're just kind of hearing, it's like, do these people really care about these guys? No, but they do. It's just that you can't fucking hear it. So fix your audio issues, TNA, seriously. There's a couple matches on the night, the exhibition match is the biggest one, where their commentator audio was louder than the crowd noise, and when the crowd was into the match and really popping for it, it didn't feel like it because the commentators were so goddamn loud compared to the freaking audience members. But yeah, EC3 and Mike Bennett, really good match. Felt like it was their best match that these two put on with each other. Felt this was the perfect feud for these guys, because EC3, he's an established character. He's someone that TNA fans know. He's someone us wrestling fans know. Mike Bennett, yes, he's known in Ring of Honor, but for the TNA character Mike Bennett, not a lot of people know him. And this is a good way and a good feud to help establish Mike Bennett as a big-time player for your company. So I felt that this was a good feud. I felt that this was a good match between them, their best match with each other to date. And it was a good match, and it really jumpstarted this pay-per-view again, because then we got Brother Nero! Jeff Hardy taking on Broken, or Big Money Matt Hardy. Oh, look, I'll say this. The match they put on was good. I'm not going to deny that that Full Metal Mayhem match was fun to watch. It was. I just didn't give a fuck about it, because I've seen Hardy versus Hardy a bunch of fucking times, not just in TNA, but WWE as well. I'm diluted to it. I just don't care. I felt that Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, for the name value that these guys have in the wrestling business, they could have done such a better job and probably feuded with guys that really needed that boost in recognition. That's my problem with this feud. I'm not trying to say the match was bad. The match was good. It was fun. I said that. But I feel like if you have Jeff Hardy in this situation, it's like, you know, Jeff Hardy's a big enough name. Why doesn't he feud with Trevor Lee or Andrew Everett to help one of those guys get over? Why isn't Matt Hardy feuding with a guy like Tyrus, who you should be building towards? Instead, it's just like a Hardy love fest and Hardy jerk off fest. And it's like, look, I've seen this so many times. Yeah, it's cool, it's fun. Jeff Hardy did crazy stuff in this match, so did Matt Hardy. They both did good. But I just don't give a fuck. Good match, but if you don't give a fuck about it, why should you care? I just didn't care about the feud. I'm just glad it's over. Let's hope Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy actually feud with younger talent and put these fuckers over. It shouldn't be all about them. And then surprisingly, I like the TNA World Tag Team title match. You know, the Decay, I will say this about them. We need more of these fuckers in wrestling. We need more Abysses, Crazy Steves, and Rosemarys in wrestling. And I'm not talking about dark, edgy characters that are just insane. No, I'm talking about characters. I swear, their pre-match promo, sitting there out saying to myself, holy fucking shit. These guys actually feel like they're characters. These guys actually feel like big deals. They may not be that much of a big deal to Decay, but fuck, they felt like it. Their characters made me feel like it. Rosemary is a great talker. I thought she did great. She sounds like Voss from Far Cry 3. I was like, man, these guys are actually fucking characters. I feel like I'm watching the Monster Abyss again. I didn't really care about Crazy Steve when he was in the Menagerie, but fuck, this Crazy Steve is cool. Can you give us more of this professional wrestling? Not some of these just regular names like Braxton Sutter. What are these guys? That's cool. These guys are cool. These guys are awesome. Sweet. And the bromance. Holy shit. These guys have improved miles. Jesse Goddard's is so much better. God, I remember Jesse Goddard's, like, Robbie E's always been a fine worker. I don't see Robbie E as a main event level talent guy, but as a worker, the guy's pretty good. But Jesse Goddard's improved a lot. This tag team match was a lot better than it should have been. Like, when you look at this matchup, if I were telling you guys, we're getting the K versus the bromance, you would be looking at me being like, the fuck? Oh, that match is going to be bad. That match is going to be terrible. No, this match was actually pretty good. Much better than it should have been. So, yeah, good match between the Decay and the Bromance. The Decay retains, I almost argued that maybe the Bromance should have won there, just so that way we could have seen the Decay really decay and go fucking batshit insane and try to kill the Bromance in the future. But, hey, whatever. Good stuff between these two teams. Much better than the tag team match that we got earlier tonight, but that's not saying much because that tag team match is one of the worst matches I've ever seen. Then we get to the main event. And I know a lot of people are probably going to think I'm crazy by saying this. I know a lot of people, even maybe the TNA defenders might think I'm crazy for saying this, but I thought Lashley and Drew Galloway put on a match of the year quality match. I know a lot of people are probably going to sit there and say, holy fucking shit that I said that. But I thought they did. I felt they took a stipulation that seemed like it looked so stupid and dumb in a tap or knockout match, and they made it fucking work. I felt this match was different than a lot of matches that you currently see in professional wrestling. You know, sometimes in wrestling, some matches kind of get diluted because, like, we see the same shit over and over and over again, that it kind of dilutes, and when you see something different, it just makes you care about the match a little bit more. Maybe that's why I'm calling it a match of your quality match, is because I just felt this match was so different and fun that it's just making me maybe overrate this match a little bit. I don't know, but for my personal opinion, this was a match of your quality matchup. But what have made me take it over the edge and really say it could be the match of the year is if Lashley came out and he was in his MMA gear. Oh, fucking Lashley, dude. And he could have kept the headband. I love pickup basketball Lashley. This guy is a fucking stud. Love Bobby Lashley. Always been a big Bobby Lashley fan. Always liked Drew Galloway, Drew McIntyre, whatever you want to freaking call him. Always liked this guy. And I was excited for this main event. You know, if you guys listen to the Team Heel podcast or anyone that asked me about Slammiversary, I always said, yeah, I'm just looking forward to Lashley and Galloway. And these guys exceeded the expectations I thought this match had for it. You know, I thought that this match was going to be good, but not as good because of the stipulation. But they made the stipulation work. They got me excited for this match, man, and I had fun watching this match. I really did. Really, really good match between these guys, man. And then, oh my god, just Lashley getting that cut over his eye. That was good shit. And then when freaking Lashley had Drew Galloway knocked out, you thought, oh, it was over there. And then Drew Galloway gets up and he gets the freaking Super Saiyan. He starts screaming. He gets intense. It was, oh man, that's when I was hooked in. I just didn't want to see these guys stop working. And then the reason why I say I wish Lashley was wearing his MMA gear is because at the end of the match, Lashley goes and ducks the freaking kick by Galloway, and he goes and freaking knocks him out with a right hand. I was saying, dude, if he had his MMA gloves on, just beautiful, perfect fucking work. Lashley gets the freaking head and arm triangle in, and then Drew Galloway loses. Lashley's now TNA World Champion, and I liked it because it was like, hey, this match was designed for Lashley, and we all know, Wrestling 101, if the wrestler designed for the match, or if they're wrestling in their hometown, they always lose. It's either or. If the wrestler picks the stipulation they want to wrestle in, they say, I want to wrestle you in this match because you can't beat me in that match. Guess what happens? The wrestler always loses that picks the stipulation. Lashley picked this stipulation and he didn't lose in it. You're adding credibility towards Lashley, but you're not hurting Drew Galloway because fuck, Drew Galloway, what a fucking man. This guy said, you know what, you picked the match. I'll defend my title in it, and he lost in it. But it doesn't make Drew Galloway look bad at all. Drew Galloway, he decided to man up and take the challenge, and he failed. That helps you get over a babyface champion when they don't always overcome the odds and stipulations they're not good at. It helps them out. It makes you say, oh shit, this guy is vulnerable. This guy has some iron to crack. And it helps make your heels look dominant and good. Because Lashley, this guy's a tank. This motherfucker should not be getting knocked out to Drew Galloway. No offense to Galloway, but this guy shouldn't. He shouldn't be tapping out or knockout to anyone. They played this match perfectly. I thought this is a match of the year quality type of match. Great match and a great main event for Slammiversary 2016. Look, maybe because I like the bigger style of wrestling, the high impact moves, and this match just felt different. I felt with the stipulation that they had, they made it work. Why I think this is a match of the year quality, but god dang, dude, this just felt different than a lot of wrestling matches that I normally see. And that's what I like about it. So overall, TNA Slammiversary, my thoughts on this was that this was a good show for TNA. I thought it was a good pay-per-view. I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it. The last four matches and the opening X Division match definitely carried the show. The other four matches just felt like TV matches, and one of them was the worst match I've ever seen, especially for a pay-per-view quality level. One of the worst matches I've ever seen. That's just how it was with Slammiversary. Even though it had all that, like, you know, if the other four matches would have delivered, I would have maybe graded this show a little bit higher. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Chase, are you lowering your standards because you're saying this was a good pay-per-view? I don't think so for TNA. I think this surpassed my expectations a lot, but I felt that there were still some slow parts. Not every show is going to be perfect, like I said. And when it comes down to it, I can agree with people if they just think this was a solid or decent show. I can agree with people to some extent that this was a great show. But for me, I thought this was a good show. I didn't feel like I wasted 3 hours watching this. I felt like, hey, I got my money's worth. It was good. So yeah, good pay-per-view from TNA. Who would have thunk it? A positive TNA review on my channel. I think this pay-per-view and Royal Rumble are the only ones that I've graded good as of late. That's a good sign, I guess. 2 good pay-per-views this year. Anyways, Slammiversary is definitely a good show. Definitely check out the 5 matches. Even the tag team title match. I'm not even kidding you. The Decay and Bromance had a better match than people want to give them credit for. I thought this match was much better than it should have been. I felt like this match was not going to be good at all, but god dang, those two went out there and they put on a good match. The other 4 matches, you can easily skip those. Yeah, unless you really care about that stuff that much, they'll probably have rematches on Impact Wrestling. Just another minor complaint for Slammiversary. I didn't like how they didn't name the Hall of Fame on this show. I hated that we have to wait till Tuesday. That's what Slammiversary is all about. Celebrating TNA's history. How come we couldn't name the TNA Hall of Fame member? I don't know. What were you guys' thoughts on Slammiversary if you watched it? Leave it in the comment section down below. If you guys like this video, give this video a big old thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseSauber68. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy your day. Peace.